You know, it's nice to do the show again because we need to talk about something else besides Tucker and these allegations. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This your couch Rider Raven saying, hey, what's good? Say, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. It's been a week, y'all. It has been it's been one heck of a last couple of weeks or whatever. Cam Rue probably not going to be here tonight, but the show must go on. No, we changed the night of the show, hoping he'd show, but you know we'll keep on looking. Once y'all see him, drag him to the studio, kicking and screaming. Let's see who we got in the room tonight. Lisa says, "Hey Jermaine, I'm picking the Eagles. I've had it with the Swifties. Oh yeah, I think probably gonna be a lot of America going against Pat Mahomes and the refs. So let's see here. Lisa said, "Don't you dare forget to tap that like button. Yes, please make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, smack the bell. Thanks for coming through. You could be anywhere in the world, but hey, you're here. You're here. You know, there's a lot of different places to be, different channels, different Ravens, YouTubers out there. There's a lot of different startups. Support them all, but appreciate you coming through. All right. So if you're in the room, please go ahead and leave a comment. Let's hear it. What are your thoughts right now? Based on the title, what are the things that we should do? Actually, before we do that, let's start some mess. Let's start some mess here. Let's see. I thought I just saw Brooke pop up into the room saying, hey, what's up? You here? You on time? Cam Rue is not. I'm not sure if he's actually going to show because he, I don't know. He basically said he didn't get the message till just now, but he knows that we talked about this before. Whatever. The show must go on. All right. So we know we need to do that thing. We're going to have a moment of controversy, folks. You know, I know he's doing the motivation stuff or like that, but let's just get messy. Let's just start some stuff, man. You know, I know we talked about is a hot dog a sandwich before. I know we talked about does pineapple belong on pizza? And that was a pretty controversial thing. Riots almost started. Kids was just hollering, sirens going off, everything. It was just insane how crazy this topic was. So here's another one. And this one I like to, call out a couple of friends of mine who happen to do this. I think they definitely need to be calling out. You know, I ain't gonna say last names, but and Nate and Roger, you know who you are, and this is what y'all be doing. Do boneless wings count as real wings? That is the question of controversy tonight. Let's start some mess. Let's hear your comments. I want to know because I know how I feel about it. I know if a grown man is sitting at my table at B-Dubs and he says, let me get the boneless, let me get the bone out. What's the next thing you think I'm going to say? What do you think I'm going to say to this individual when they say, hey, you want the bone in and the bone out? And they say bone out. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say those are chicken nuggets, sir. Those are not wings. They are not wings. No, they do not come straight from the chicken. That's just the trash of the chicken. It gets balled into little chicken knots and then fried up. Is that respectful to the chicken? Is that respectful to being a grown man? To be on the chicken nugget wagon? I don't think so. Let me hear your thoughts on this. All right. Oh, we got fans of the hoodie. Oh, yeah. Appreciate you. You know, I had it for a while. Hey, the coolest thing about this hoodie is I'm going to turn around and try not to unplug anything when I do this. But it's got the last name on there. Not the last name on it. It's one of my favorites. Burke says, who you got for the Super Bowl on Sunday? I'll tell you in a minute. Let's see. Burke says, yes. I had a friend who would call them glorified chicken nuggets. This is exactly what they are. They are chicken nuggets. It's not chicken wing. It ain't got no wing if it ain't got no bone in it. That's a nugget. Burke says, I don't really care, Lisa. Both sides have pissed me off last week. Oh, you talking about the Super Bowl, whatever. Anyway. I've had pineapple on pizza and it's good. I was initially not a fan of pineapple on pizza. Then I met my wife and she loved pineapple on pizza. And so I was like, all right, let's just, appease her. Let's get some. So we do. And I like pineapple on pizza. It's not bad. It gives a nice little sweet and sour tang to it, along with the pepperonis. It's hitting. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a fan of pineapple on pizza. I'm really a fan of the Hawaiian pizza at Domino's. I know they ain't paying me, but I'm just saying that pizza there, the Hawaiian pizza at Domino's is on point because it's got all types of craziness in there. It just power packed in your mouth. Like you ever watch Ratatouille when he like bites the grape and bites the cheese at the same time. There's explosions going off in his mind. That is what a Hawaiian pizza is like, and I really like that a lot. So anyway. Got me on a food topic here. Coben says they are not wings, just chicken nuggets with sauce on them. Telling Coben, that's what I'm talking about. Hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button, and y'all make sure y'all like Coben's comment here because he's hitting on that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And make sure you come back for more, Coben. We glad you're here. We glad you're here, man. So yes, that is the controversial topic tonight. It sounds like everybody's on my side. They feel me. They understand what I'm going through when I have to deal with friends who want to put me through that type of traumatizing event at the table. Yes, I'm judging. I'm judging them just as much as they judge me for not drinking alcohol. Shoot. Anywho, got me on mine today. Let's get up off of it. Let's get to it. Why are we here? Why are we here? We're here because, man, it's been some stuff to go down this week. Like, we don't sign the new linebackers coach. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but this guy from Georgia has 2 first-round or projected first-round linebackers. These are edge guys, but they're linebackers nonetheless, and I'm pretty sure he had something to do with their development, the new linebackers coach for the Ravens. But, that's one of the things that happened. So that may be a good thing. And it's bad when Harbaugh is not playing a nepotism card and signing back the homeboys after they had bad performance in the year. So what we really need is a linebackers coach that is going to help develop Simpson because we felt Simpson was faster than Queen at the beginning of the season last year. We felt that he was larger than Queen. He had a longer reach than Queen. He had all the physical attributes that was better than Patrick Queen, yet he just did not gel with the guy that he should have gelled with, which was Roquan. And because of that, we had to have Board come in, and Board actually did a pretty good job of gelling in, which is another person that we should sign back low key because he did his thing and helped stop the run. And he was a lot more, I ain't going to say physically impressive, but he was there what he was supposed to do. He was assignment responsibility, assignment alignment. He was on it. And maybe that's just something that's got to be fine-tuned. And now this new linebackers coach comes in, that could help. But the other thing is, we've had this week, we had Tucker issues. That is a big thing. And then, there were some other things that popped up. So we're going to go to the first topic here. Just as a reminder, folks, we don't need Devontae Adams. I just wanted to put that out there. I know that it really is really off topic, but I wanted to just make sure that everybody felt it in the air because Rashad Bateman did his thing this year. We still got to say, yeah, Nelly may be hitting the free agency and it's probably past his time here. We can go ahead and get a third receiver that's kind of more of a contributor, a role player, not necessarily somebody who's going to come in here and pull a Deontay Johnson and kick and scream because they're not getting the reps. We just want somebody that's going to come in and even let the younger guys compete. But somebody's going to come in and do their thing and contribute to this team, not necessarily try to take over and fuss about it. We don't need another diva. I told y'all we didn't need a diva from the first place. I was right. All right. First topic. Now we talked about we don't need Devontae. Should the Ravens re-sign or sign somebody from free agency or draft a starting guard? Like, What are your thoughts on that? Because right now we got a couple of guys hitting free agency. Ben Cleveland, somehow he got out of Harbaugh's basement and was able to enter into free agency. And then when it comes to Pat McCurry, look, I felt some type of way about Pat McCurry from the last divisional, not this divisional loss, but the previous divisional loss to the Bills because of those snaps. But other than that, this guy's been he's been a switchblade. He's been a full-on multi-use tool that can be used on this offensive line, and he can be signed for depth. Will he come back for a cheap deal? I don't know. Do the Ravens want him back? I'm not really sure. Or do the Ravens want to go in a different direction? So what I was thinking is like, hey, we can sign back a former Raven, but it doesn't have to be either one of those guys. It could be Ben Bredeson. So this guy was injured when he came to the Ravens, initially drafted, but he was a former 4th-round pick in 2000. And he was sitting there helping, I guess he was trading their reps with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I guess he was a former Raven, former Giant, and then he became a Buccaneer. He's only 26 years old, so it's still plenty of tread life on the tires right there. This is the guy that could come to Baltimore and learn this offensive system and maybe get a chance to compete for a starting job, compete with Voorhees. Because we already know that there's a lot of love for Daniel Faalele, apparently. And Faalele, we dogged him. We did. He was on the hate scale. Big time up there on the hate scale for a while. And what I'm talking about here, it was so bad that I actually had to make the meter here. All right, so the hate meter. Here's your hate meter. Let me go and pull that up. Get rid of this banner. All right, so here we go. There's a lot of different here. Down here in this area to your bottom, it's probably on your bottom left. Bench Faalele. And then there's Stevens. We threw 3 of Stevens in the trash. At least one of those things is taken care of. I'll make sure I edit that to show what we're missing here. Or do the update to it. Sorry, 1 second. I need to take something off the screen. All right, so you can see that we got fire harbs over here on this side, down here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like ticked off about, they wanted to fire harbs right after the game. I mean, sorry guys, he's here for a while. I mean, we just signed the offense coordinator who could possibly, Malkin could, he could come in and take over the team, but we don't know. We don't know what the future holds, but I think they like Harbaugh enough to let him keep that. Like I said, Harbaugh and EDC share a fence. They share a fence. Who's going to sit here and build this other side of the fence if EDC fired Harbaugh? I'm saying it's important. It's important. I mean, if I had a fence that I shared with a neighbor and a storm came and knocked it over, we're going to talk about it and we're going to go half and half on this fence. And I'm pretty sure that's the thing that's keeping him here. EDC he don't want to build that fence by himself. It's pretty. I mean, they both own basic farms. They own farms, a lot of land. That's a big old fence you got to rebuild by yourself. You need somebody to do it. Need a friend. Anywho, let's see what we're talking about here. All right, so going back, let me get this hate continuum off of here because, it's just one of those things that, we stay all over this scale every single week to week, and now we're in the offseason, so I probably had to build a new one. Okay, now, going back to you guys in the comments here. Brooks says, great sign so far. Glad to have Monken back. I am excited to have Monken back because this guy, we see him completely use Lamar in ways that make him be his best. The game plan could have been a little bit better for the playoffs as far as what we did to the Bills. The Steelers' game plan was beautiful. It was so great to see Lamar come out there and pull and then be able to run like that. I know they didn't want Lamar to get hit again in the back, but that game plan was gorgeous. It was so amazing to see Henry be able to take off because of the fact that they were worried about Lamar later on in the game because Lamar was just taking it and running. And that opened up that offense so much that we were able to dominate that game. And I wish that we had came with the same game plan as the Bills, but it just lets us know that Monken is capable of doing these game plans. It's just they ducked when they should have weaved or bobbed or whatever. It was a different game plan that we rolled out with. And they came out with the best thing that they could came out with. And we almost won the game. It's on the entire team, but that drop based on I'm gonna blame it on the elements. Managers don't drop balls much, and the elements got to him. It's so it's a lot of moisture out there. It was right in his hands, but it fell out. So it is what it is. All right, here we go. Lisa says the allegations against Justin Tucker are just ridiculous. We'll get into that in just a minute. I just really didn't want to discuss much of it. Just we hope for the best for this guy. And uh, Brooks says, well, so going back to Ben, so I don't think we keep Ben Cleveland. Like I said, he's on Harbaugh's crap list. Lisa says, keep Pat Ricard or I'll be ticked off. And I like 77. You like Fele. You like Ricard. I like Ricard. I'm not too big of a fan of Makari, but like I said, he's a very good sub. He can come in and sub, but he's not the full-time guy. Harbs isn't getting fired. People are ridiculous. Oh yeah, they want to come for this guy's throat all the time. Adi says it's a little weird that the Rams are openly talking about a Cup trade, and Cup already posted a goodbye LA before serious discussions had taken place. Well, they told him, "Hey, you're gone," and he's like, "I don't agree with it, but okay." And nothing's worse than an organization that don't want you. When it's time and they say, "Hey, we no longer want your services," it's a heartbreaking thing because you're like, "Hey, this is the team I would ride or die with last year. I put my blood, sweat, and tears. I got into the weight room with this team on my back." Even Ed was tore up about it when he left the Ravens after the Super Bowl. He's in one room with Ozzie Newsome, and Ozzie Newsome is telling him, "Hey, yeah, we're going to keep you around." And then he walks into another room with John Harbaugh. And Harbaugh was like, "No, we're not interested. Thanks, but no thanks." And then that's when he went to Houston and into the Jets. But it was because there was conflicting management issues as far as coaching and the general manager. There were different personalities there, and Ed had a personality of his own, and that conflicted with Harbaugh's, along with the other bullies from the team. But they just had voices. Ravoy says, has Tucker played his last game as a Raven? Based off of stats, if we went with stats alone, I think the Ravens go ahead and draft his replacement this year, and they at least let him compete. They at least let them, let this person come into the camp and let him compete against Tucker. But if we're talking about stats and the allegations, that really confuses things, and you wonder, like, all right, based on, because then you start to bring in shelf life. All right, look, if I don't draft his replacement right now, then we got to worry about, is he going to beat these allegations and who we're going to sign as the next kicker. And I had an idea for that, and I'll come up with that in just a second here. But you have to think about shelf life, allegations, and moving forward. Like, okay. And then this is also a salary cap thing. This guy is getting banked. He is the highest paid kicker in the league. It poses a problem. That poses a big problem and a decision for the Ravens with these allegations. For me, if I'm general manager, I say cut him. And I know that's heartless, but at the same time, I feel like he can fight. He can concentrate fully on fighting these legal battles if he is not on a football team at the moment. And the Ravens can focus on the future going forward with a younger, fresher, drafted kicker to move into the future. We say, thank you, Justin. And, he beats the allegations. We put a statue up next to Ray's because Justin is one of the greatest kickers of all time. We get him a statue. Honestly, we call Ed and J.O. and say, hey, look, we're going to put a statue across the stadium. We owe y'all this. So, but Justin would be one of those statues. But we need to move forward. And I know that's heartless. I know we got a lot of love for Tuck. And I know he got his life together at the end of the season after the bye. But do we need to move forward now, considering these allegations? I would say yes. All right, Brooks says, we definitely need a kicker in the draft, but I think it's just in case. I don't think the allegations will go anywhere. It's just a black eye right now. Anyway, let's see. I think you were talking about Cooper Kupp, Corbin. He said, indeed, I think that Kupp just said that because he's a very valuable player to any team in the league, and he knows that there's a good chance teams will try to pursue him. I think so. I think, yeah, teams are going to go after him. But I think the team that he's with right now kind of told him, like, hey, we are going to shop you. We want draft picks, and we're going to shop you around because we know what your value is, but you are just not as high a value to this organization based off of what we currently have at receiver. Puka Nacua changes things for people. Having what is number 5 over there? I can't remember that. He's a little speedster. So between having Puka, between having that Tutu Atwell, that really opens up different options. Yes, there's going to be a discussion had and a big void when Cooper Kupp leaves at the slot receiver position, but when you have those two guys there on the outside, that really changes things. And then you can move Tutu on the inside. I know I'm talking Rams here, but it just really opens things up for the Rams to move off of Cooper Kupp. All right. So D says, so one LA team is the beneficiary of a team trading their star. Luka and another LA team is the opposite end of that within 72 hours. Yeah, y'all get into the Luka. It came up as a text message. Somebody said they basically they didn't even say much. All they said was WTF. And I'm like, what's going on? This is between my cousins and my brothers. We call it the brothers chat. And they didn't even discuss what happened. They just they're all arguing about something that I had no clue what was going on. So finally they put me on game and let me know what's happening. And I was like, wow. Obviously, Braun has the Aaron Rodgers type power when it comes to the Lakers. He's basically making those behind the scene moves and denying that he had anything to do with it. We know Braun has something to do with this. Anyway. All right. D says, has Tucker been accused of anything post 2016? Not accused of anything post 2016, but he was banned from most massage parlors allegedly in 2021. There's a couple of tweets to go along with that. I did check the tweets. The guy who posted those tweets might have a total of 160 followers total. So I'm not sure. It was two separate tweets, and you can see the time frames on them. But honestly, I don't know how that's going to hold weight. I think that we just got to sit here and not necessarily judge, but allow the judicial process to take place. And if these people are serious, then they need to go ahead and file that report. Because if it's not filed report with the laws, then we're just looking at somebody who's trying to get paid for damages. I'm not going to put a judgment on that, but I'm just saying, if you are accused of somebody of something, then you need to go ahead and call the police or file that police report and take it that route. Because if you were taking it the other route, we're looking at funds, and everybody grieves and wants their justice in certain ways. So I'll leave that to them. Brooks says the team isn't going to get rid of Tucker off accusations if there's no proof. We don't operate like that. I know, Brooke. I'm just saying I'm just saying it was on me. And I know that was one of the topics we wanted to talk about was Tucker. Should the Ravens sign a top tier kicker? So one of the things is I was thinking if we went into a different direction, Michael Badgley. So this guy's coming off of a season-ending injury. He was playing for the Lions. He would be a cheaper option. He's 82% field goals made throughout his career. It was not glorious when I looked at the above 50 yarders. He had 5 for 13. It's not a glorious situation. Honestly, I don't think the Ravens want to look at I think we look at the draft. Honestly, 4th round, grab a kicker, call it a day. But Michael Badgley has he's got like a 6-year career, so he's got some experience. But the injuries could be an issue. I say injuries, I mean injury. So sorry, y'all. I don't know. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one here. That was my bad. We are talking about signing a top tier corner. My fault. I skipped over Tucker because y'all brought me into it. Anywho, now action number 4. Should the Ravens sign a top tier corner? We moved off of signing a guard, and I gave you that option of Ben Bredeson already, but we're moving into the top tier corner issue. Stevens just is going to be a free agent. We're not interested. I'm glad we are not interested anymore because of Stevens' performance this past season. It was an off year, but it's also one that was critical to this team. We wanted somebody to be able to step up for us, and Stevens did not. And I gave you some options last episode about things that we could do, but the name, this guy came to mind. Jeff Okuda came to mind, but a lot of people on X, and I'm not talking about the drug, I'm talking about Twitter. There was some discussion about him being trash. Like as I was going down the feed, there was a lot of people talking trash about Jeff Okuda. It's a former first round pick, and he's a guy with potential. He's still young. He's 26 years old. He's got 2 career interceptions. He's a former first round pick, and it may cost the team $5 million per year to pick this guy up. I think that's a cheap pickup. As you can see here, this is something from 2022. They were talking about him basically locking down Justin Jefferson. If you got a guy who has a good day, if you have a guy who has a good day against Justin Jefferson, I know it's just one day, but at the same time, he is gone toe to toe with Justin Jefferson at least 2 times a year in the season. And then he went down to Texans. He's got experience. He just needs the right system. He's got the prototypical size. Justin Jefferson anybody facing Justin Jefferson and able to lock him up like that, that's pretty solid. I mean, that's a pretty solid showing, right? Here we are, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 14 yards. That's mind blowing, folks. That's something that's something special. That's something that we just can't overlook when it comes to a guy like this. And you can get him for cheap for $5 million a year. I know a lot of people dogged him out, but maybe, just maybe, there's something there with Jeff Okuda. All right. Then he, previously played for Houston, and of course they could always call up Houston and be like, "Yo, what's your review on this cat? Is he all right?" Of course, what the people want. What do they want? You know exactly what the people want when it comes to signing a corner. People have been talking about it this entire offseason. The flock wants this guy here. They want him. They want Jair. They want Jair Alexander here. But this is a guy that's coming off of PCL surgery. This is a guy that he wants the bag. I'm going to be honest with you. Okuda wants that bag. I mean, not Okuda, excuse me. Jair Alexander wants the bag. His last base salary was $6.6 million. If you are as old as he is, do you want to have that big time contract and be on a losing team? Or do you want to go after a ring and then try to go after the contract after you sign a multi-year deal? Because let's be honest, Eric DeCosta is not signing 1-year deals with an $8 million salary number right now, salary cap number. It's about $8 million. That's our cap number. We are strapped. And we got to worry about signing other big players. We got to worry about, one, signing a left tackle, because Stanley, that's going to be something in the discussion coming up too. But we got to sign a left tackle. We have to make sure we secure Henry, and that could be a problem. We got to worry about the third-year play. These big-time players that are coming up on a big-time contract, like Hamilton, both of our tight ends, Likely and Andrews. These are big-time discussions that need to be had, but we want this luxury item that's out there, and I don't think that's possible right now. What are your thoughts on this? All right, Nan is here saying what's up. Gerald is in the building. What's good, y'all? He says, what's up, Jermaine? I was like, what's happening? Brooke wants to keep Stanley. And we just got to be reasonable. I do agree that Stanley has robbed the Ravens for plenty of money. I think if he wants a championship, this is where he takes that pay, honestly, a pay reduction. His agent's going to tell him straight up, hey, man, know your worth. But the Ravens are going to tell him, like, hey, do you want to be part of something special? Do you want to be with Lamar? Do you want to go to some garbage team where you're forgotten? What's your legacy going to be? What do you want to be? You want to protect one of the GOATs of the NFL? Or do you want to go and protect some garbage, signal caller who's probably going to give you a little bit of headache? Y'all don't have that chemistry, and then you don't go win a ring. All right. A lot of people saying, what's up? We're going to move forward. All right. So Brooke is saying, got to be reasonable. I agree. Reasonable contract. What's that look like to you? I think with the going rate at tackle, Let's go check see what the going rated tackle is. I think it is about 18 mil a year, but that is a guesstimate. That is not the true. Let's see what it is. What it is. Because I feel like it's just like I said, it's just going to be situations to where we sign somebody to a multi-year deal. Do you want Stanley on a multi-year contract? That's the problem. Because if you don't want him on a multi-year contract, you can't sit here and come out here. If you want him on a single year deal, you got to offer him for cheap, and it's got to be low, like really low, because we don't have that type of money. We got 8 mil. We can't offer him the whole 8 mil because we're doing a shopping in the free agency. Everything is going to have to be on a multi-year deal. I'm going to check the market value for Ronnie Stanley. The average right now is 20 mil, y'all. $20.7 million is the average salary for a top tier tackle. Ronnie's going to want at least 16. Let's just call it what it is. Ronnie's going to want 16 a year based off of this market here. His current average salary, we kept working him down to where he got 7.5. Ronnie is probably going to want that bag, that final bag that leads him off into retirement, because we're looking at a guy who is 30 years old. He's about to be 31 because he's a Pisces, baby, just like us. Pisces right here. But his agent, Kim Miley, Rock Nation, is going to go after the bag. They're going to go after it. Let's just call it what it is. It's going to be a difficult signing, and you got to hope that EDC has the silver tongue and it is able to work this issue. Gerald says, I like Ronnie Stanley, but my worry is him getting hurt again. I'm with you. All right. Ronnie's going to get what he get because he owe us money. Well, the thing is, we kept rolling his contract back. Rolling it. And I kept thinking, like, dude, this dude is like, we're going to have to eventually pay out all this money. It's going to hurt. Anyway, so we were on corners. I know we were talking about that, but yeah, I think Jeff Okudah would probably be a good option. Shows potential. I mean, we could sign Stevens back if we're looking for that type of nightmare again, but I doubt anybody in the flock wants that. I had some ideas before, but y'all definitely didn't like that. And this is an older option. AA signing him back. I know we want to try and let our younger guys grow, but there needs to be somebody there. Let's move forward into action number 3. So the Ravens dropped Justin Tucker. I think we've discussed that plenty. Let's go with action number 2. We talked about Ronnie Stanley, re-signing the Ronnie Stanley. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I think the Ravens should sign Ronnie Stanley. There's the continuity there. There is keeping a guy who's performed very well this season. And sure, in the playoffs, I think he has some penalties. That was some things to clean up. But ultimately, I would rather have him there and then still go into like maybe the second round and look at one of the physically gifted players out of the draft and see if they can teach that person technique. Now, the last time we went after a physically gifted individual, that was Daniel Faalele, and we saw that Danny didn't have feet. And he ain't got no feet. He still ain't got feet. So that is a huge gamble when it comes to the Ravens. We need to make sure this person's got good footwork. All right, let's see. Nana says, I was speaking about Lamar and trying to redo his contract. I mean, they could. He's got like a $45 million cap number. Then the more that they push to the back of that contract, the more it's going to cost the Ravens in the long run trying to get him to get that number back down. So it's like you're going to have to take that hit eventually of his real cap number, which is probably around $52 million a year. They eventually got to take that full hit, and you can't keep putting. That's one of the contracts you can't keep pushing down the road. You need a younger player who's on a bigger deal to push that contract. So I mean, you could split it through a couple of years. It's just eventually you're gonna get taxed. It's gonna come through. Can't keep putting things on credit card with him. Iber says I'm down with that. I like AA. AA was straight. He locked down Tyreek. He just couldn't get picked up after. I think when he went to the Raiders, I'm not really sure what happened there. But this is a guy that we did well with. We had some success with. He still got speed. D says, top three worst normal foods at a Super Bowl party, and you can't use boneless wings. Okay, that'll be next week's topic. We might move the show to Wednesday again because I don't know where Cameron is, and I moved the show for him. So I need to probably move it back because I do have something important on Monday night next week. All right. So no, bring back Brandon Stevens. Gerald. So I'm sorry, what? Gerald, I'm gonna go ahead and we need to get a cup. I'm gonna mail it to you, and I need you to check the contents of the cup, and then we need to see your ID card, and then we'll have an escort to follow you to the bathroom, and then you need to place contents in this cup. We're going to seal it, send it to an actual lab, and they will let us know what the results. We'll see if you can actually continue to be a Ravens fan. It's going to be on the line. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but we have to have you drug tested. We do, and I'm sorry that it came to this, but yes, you are probably the only one lobbying for Brandon Stevens in the world. Yes, the world. Okay. Nana says, Fairly, heck no. I'm with you. All right. So Nana says, Lamar's due like $74 million. He's due quite a bit of money. I think this year is not too high. The cap number's like 40 something. Okay. Thoughts on new linebackers coach? Like I said, I think this guy he's a solid linebackers coach. Like I said, when you have two linebackers, whether it's edge or interior, but I think they're both edge, going into the first round or projected first round draft picks, that means you've done your thing. It means you have taught them good technique. It means you have helped them to take care of their inside and outside. So there's a physical conditioning coach, there's probably a nutrition coach, and then this person, teaching technique. He had something to do. His hand was in the pot when it came to cooking up these linebackers. So to grab another guy from Georgia who can teach that to our guys, whether it be how to rush or how to manage as a linebacker in coverage and open space, I'm with it. Cannot wait to see what he brings to the table. And I'm glad Harbaugh actually got somebody out of his house instead of just playing the friends card. Okay. What would you say, Brooke? He said don't. Who said don't? Don't what? Oh, I'm sorry. Jared. My bad, Jared. All right. So you do not have to go get tested. Please ignore the gentleman at your front doorstep. Thank you. All right. Moving forward to our final topic. This is the one y'all been talking about. I've been seeing this all over the Flocks page about should the Ravens sign Ronnie Stanley? Excuse me, not Ronnie Stanley. Should the Ravens go after Myles Garrett? No. Emphatically, no. I'm sorry, y'all. It just doesn't line up. Number one, do you think the Cleveland Browns would actually trade into a divisional opponent to make the Ravens greater, to make themselves weaker, to give us more of a chance to go win a Super Bowl over them? Do we look like the better fit to go to a Super Bowl? Yes, we do. But it's because we already got dogs on the squad. I'm not saying that anybody on this squad is better than Myles Garrett, but I am saying that Cleveland Browns are not going to trade interdivision to make another team stronger than them. That's going to help them take the AFC North crown again. Secondly, what's this guy's price tag going to be? What is Garrett's price tag going to be? Are we talking $22 million a year for a guy that he's a physical specimen, but he's going to fit into our system? Is he going to have unselfish play like the rest of these guys have? How's Myles Garrett going to fit into our system? I like everything he offers for the Browns, but how does it work with us? It might work out just fine, but financially it won't because we can't afford it. I keep telling y'all we broke. We ain't got no money. We ain't got it. And unless he signs a multi-year deal starting off with probably $3 million base salary this year, and we pay a lot on the back end next year, which we got to do with a lot of different players in order to keep him on this team, then we're in a little bit of trouble. And I think that Myles Garrett, as nice as it would be to have him here, we paid away? Have we paid away the extension that he deserves, this is a good option who could end up going to another team and having one of those glow ups. Y'all seen how players leave us that are pass rushers and end up going have a blow up somewhere else. We need Oweh here, and we need him to have that big time blow up with us. And getting him at a middle of the pack type of deal be pretty solid. And it's going to be hard to pull off because Oweh had double digit sacks this year. And low key, yeah, we were like, hey, we're all worried about what Van Noy was doing and what other players were doing. But Oweh had double digit sacks this year. Something to think about. It's going to be hard to bring him back. So if we can barely bring Oweh back, we can't sign Myles Garrett. This is going to be a game record for a different team, but it is not the Baltimore Ravens. We can't afford him, and they're not going to trade for him. Let's pay some bills, see what y'all think about that. Okay. I think you may be right. The Commanders could get him. This is just one of those teams that, they managed to pull in some pretty high caliber players, and they're putting together a very nice squad through the last couple of years since general management has changed. So now with Jaden Daniels there, honestly, I think that people are going to have tape on Jaden Daniels. They're going to realize that he's a deep shot artist. And, once they figure out how to stop the deep ball on Jaden, he has to throw the intermediate pass. They're going to stop this guy. Put a spy on him and stop the intermediate pass. Or stop the deep pass. They're going to pretty much lock Jaden up. But who knows? As far as Commanders, I think, the Commanders could get him, be a good fit. Next, Coben, I think the Ravens should definitely try to pursue Garrett, but I think the chances of getting him are unlikely. I'm with you. Amanda says the Browns aren't trading him at all. I think they may, just not into the division. Brooks says they will trade him because he wants to be traded, and the last thing they need is an unhappy player. It's just how it seems to go. Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you could just claim prisoners. You didn't want to play for us, then guess what? You don't want to play. And they would sit that player on the bench, and they were like, all right, cool. We're going to fine the heck out of you for not coming to practice until it equals or actually surpasses the amount that we owe you on the contract. And then we could, I think even now, if they decided to do that, they could actually charge the member an extra year. Say, hey, no, you didn't play last year, so now you're here with us an extra year because of the fact that you sat out. But now it's just more of a matter of, hey, how do we get compensation since this person doesn't want to play for our team anymore? And if Garrett decides, hey, I don't want to play for you anymore, might as well go ahead and get that draft compensation because somebody is going to pay a mighty penny to get Garrett. Okay. Nana says, we better get some funds somewhere. We have to deal with Kyle Hamilton before we can't afford him. I think this is one of those ones you're not going to let go because it's one of the most spectacular safeties in the league. We're seeing what he's even doing during flag football. He's just got great instincts. He is really showing up everywhere. Like, wow, you're just like wondering, like, dude, is this guy on Adderall or something? Because he's just hyper focused and is able to just sniff things out, no problem. Got a pick six in flag. A pick six in flag football. Just read the QB's ass. Boom, I got it. No problem. He's a beast. It looked just like the play against the Cleveland Browns when they tried to throw a screen pass or something. Just give me just a second. I need to wet my whistle, folks. All right. So, yes, I think Kyle Hamilton is going to get signed by the Ravens. That's no question. I think that's probably the top priority contract. The ones that are going to be in question are Likely and Andrews. Yes, we love Andrews and we love Likely, but are we signing both tight ends? One of them could be traded. And we know that's an uncomfortable conversation because we like having tight ends that can perform at this level. And it's like, do we want to let Likely go and go to somebody who can make them contender. Imagine Likely on the Chiefs. Imagine Kelsey decides to retire this year after they probably get their third Super Bowl ring. And then the Chiefs, they make Likely an offer, or make us an offer for Likely. We trade him. The Chiefs are reloaded with one of the better tight ends in the league because we can't afford to pay two. Could be a real problem. Anna says, who is trying to bring Owe back? Honestly, I think the Ravens should work on getting this guy a multi-year deal. It's a cheap option. So we better keep Likely if you ask me. I know a lot of people did not like Mandrews based off of what happened that last game. The last look we have is the thing that is the sore in our eye right now. But ultimately, he scored 11 touchdowns for the Ravens. That's something that we can't overlook. He scored 11 touchdowns this past year, and that was after week 5. So that's something we got to say, hey, he's still our guy. He's still our guy. But Likely also did his thing, too. He was athletic. Initially, when he was drafted, I was kind of hot because we didn't go after a wide receiver. This guy is just as good as a wide receiver. I love watching Likely on the field because he can get open, and the things he does after the catch, the stiff arms from hell, is just sick with it. Love it. Brooks says, I think we keep both. I hope so. I really hope that this magical bag of money comes out of the sky and the salary cap goes to an astronomical level that helps us to maintain crucial players, because I'm like, all right, well, we got to pay Likely. We got to pay Hampton. We got to re-sign Stanley. We got to get Mandrews. We need a corner. This shopping list is starting to get a little bit bigger than the pockets that are currently on the cap right now, and that's going to be on EDC to do some maneuvering for some restructuring. Because our pockets is tight right now. We on toast bread. We don't even get bagels right now. We on toast bread. The lights is flickering. It's bad right now. We do not have the cash. We ain't got it. We are broke. Let's see here. Bruce says, I hope Kelsey retires. He's so annoying. I do agree. Kelsey is annoying. I'm still a little bitter about the whole Tucker business in the playoffs previously. Nana says, I would have said keep Likely no matter what. Oh, we can keep both. So I talked to Stanley. He said he'd play for free. Okay, bro. Hey, if you get him to pay for free, that's some good negotiation skills. I need you to go ahead and call up EDC and tell him that you need to be on his team and that you were able to negotiate a deal that he definitely could not. I need you to be on that on the brass of the Baltimore Ravens and negotiate a few of these deals. They want to play for free. I'm all for it. I do want players to get their bag. Don't get me wrong, but they're willing to play for free to play for something big. Then let's go get it. Let's go. I'm pretty sure the minimum is like a dang near $1 million to play for. So, let's see. Jero says, I'm still bitter about last year AFC Championship. I'm with you. I'm bitter about it all right now. I thought for sure right now, this week, I can walk to the office with my chest held high. I could be yelling call down the hallway. I could do a little crazy dance and have a midget walking through the hallway with me, just going crazy as we all wearing purple. Have my shades on in the building. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing because I'm about to retire anyway. And talk about the Ravens in the Super Bowl, and it didn't happen. It was a little frustrating. It's going to be all right. We coming. Help is on the way. Gerald says, like EDC, when asked about Mandrews, he said that he would require some more conversation. Nana, where you get that? You got that post? Because I don't remember seeing that. I just feel that that definitely leaves a door open for something. So I told him we waited 1,000,000 years for him to be healthy, and if he didn't play for free, we would fight. Well, I mean, Brooke, we know you have the ability to pull up on a couple of our players and get them right. So you keep them in line. You are the Ravens Sergeant at Arms, so I appreciate you. I'm pretty sure the flock does too. Pull up on them, girl. Pull up. All right. So I think we've talked about the majority of our issues here. We knew exactly what we wanted to get into tonight. We know that Eric DeCosta, we want them to make the issue. The flock wants them to make these decisions and make it happen. But of course, we just have to look at the cap flexibility. Right now, I'll go ahead and pull that up. I ain't gonna put it on the screen, but I'll go ahead and read it off to you. We are just in a cap strapped situation. So with top 51 cap space, we're talking about $8.9 million right now. And Lamar is taking about 15% of that cap. So that is something. Yeah, I think you may be right. He's going to have to do like a little bit of restructure to give us some space. Maybe break that down and probably push it out an extra 4 years to push this cap number down a good bit. Maybe create about $20 million in cap space if he decides to restructure this contract and push it a little bit further down the road as far as his payments, because he don't care as long as he get the money up front, then that's fine. I think Marlowe the same thing. He's 29 years old, and I think he's going to have to restructure a little bit of this because right now he's got a $25 million cap hit. And it's not okay, folks. That is not okay. Roquan, we definitely need to restructure some of that because he's getting 23 mil right now. These are some significant hits to the salary this year. So I think if they restructure at least two of those contracts and discuss, I mean, this could be a real discussion right now of Mandrews possibly getting traded because we're looking at a $16.9 million contract. And I love Mandrews, and I know he's going to make some team great. We got to figure out what are we doing here? Let's see here. If they decided to trade Mandrews, how much salary cap does that free up for the Ravens? Some team's not going to want a guy that's going to be on the last year of his contract because he's a free agent next year. So, I mean, unless Eric DeCosta pulls a magical move and gets like a second round pick for this guy, I don't really think he's going anywhere. They want the pick compensation, and they want to make sure that they're able to free up that cap space. So he could possibly clear up maybe $11 million in cash for the Ravens if they were to trade and if they were to move on from him. So just a thought. Yeah, we always poor, and that's just one of the things about being cap responsible. You're going to see certain teams that are hurting in specific areas because they went all out on one position, and they may have looked like super contenders in the offseason. AKA the Jets. The Jets went all out. They went and got every receiver they could possibly get, and they were they just completely did things wrong with salary cap. And then look at them. Look how they turned out in the end. Firing everybody, GM, coach. Players are not going to be there next year. They got players that are stuck there for. I think they're stuck there for a few years because of the fact that they just not cap responsible. Eric DeCosta is cap responsible. He makes good decisions. Y'all can't deny the guy's resume because he puts us in position to win playoff games. And y'all like, oh no, he hadn't signed the big fish. He hadn't signed the big fish. We've been to the AFC Championship and no less than the divisional round when Lamar's healthy. So that should tell you that these rosters that are being built by Eric DeCosta, we just got to trust. EDC got our back, and he's going to build a roster that's going to get us into the playoffs again. And I know that y'all want this like high star caliber player that's going to take us over the top, but it's usually on the coaching to take it further after Eric DeCosta does his thing. All right. Gerald was saying, how much do we have? We got 8 point. I don't know. It's 8 mil. Just imagine us having 8 mil to play with right now. That's not much. All right. Let's see. Mandrews will be gone. Don't worry about it. Oh, you talking about Mandrews' contract. So right now he's got 16? Yeah, 16.9. So $17 million cap hit. And so he's got us for like $52 million right now. So he's gotten paid. If he wants to be part of this championship caliber team, we're talking about pay cut or trade. If we're taking the passion out of it, we're taking the love we have for this player. If we're taking all of that and we're putting it off the table, and we're talking just business, then this is a trade candidate. This is a guy that helps save the cap money, or he restructures and takes less. And I mean less. Okay. Nana says, Mandrews will be gone. Don't worry about it. Dang. The EDC does this thing. Ravens fans complain about everything. And it is true. We do tend to complain about a lot of different things whenever we have a signing. Now, I complained the most about the Deontay Johnson signing. I complained about the rumors about Devontae Adams coming here. And as you can see, I still feel a certain way when it comes to people talking about Devontae coming here. Look how well he did with the Jets. Rashad Bateman outperformed Devontae Adams, and it wasn't even close. It was like, hey, Rashad he's our guy. He's one of our guys. Am I saying that he is just this dynamic playmaker? No, but he's top of the league in separation. And he gels well with what we currently have. And he for the low. We got him for cheap. We got him for cheap, y'all. We're talking about $32 million wide receivers out there right now. We got one for 3 years for $15 million. A top tier wide receiver for 3 years for $15 million. $5 million a year. Can't beat it. Yes, I do think that Rodgers had a lot to do with the dumpster fire that has been the New York Jets for this year, and that's just how Roger rolls. I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think I've ever been a fan of his attitude as a teammate, but now as he gets older, they try to get into more of the general management type of decision making as a signal caller, and all that does is poison an organization. Let's see here. All right, folks, we had 56 minutes here. If any comments left, or do we want to talk about chicken nuggets or the Super Bowl? Well, I guess we could talk about our Super Bowl picks. What is your Super Bowl pick? I know who I'm rooting for. I know who the refs are rooting for. But ultimately, I think I want the Eagles to win. I am sick of the Pat Mahomes era. I'm done with it. I'm so sick of this. This should be the Lamar Jackson era, and it shouldn't be really a question as to whose era it should be right now. It should be Lamar Jackson versus, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or whatever. I'm tired of the Pat Mahomes era. I'm ready to be done with this. But I don't want to see a three-peat. But if it's a three-peat and then he falls off a cliff, just figuratively speaking, not for real. If that team happens to just full on fall apart next year, then I'm all for it because that opens the door for our guys. Plus, I would not mind going to a Chiefs home game and watching the Ravens beat the snot out of them because they right down the street from me over in Kansas City. So what you got? Let's see. The Eagles, even though their fans are awful, our fans are awful. The Eagles fans, for years, they are up and down, very much up and down on their quarterbacks, on their team. But it's good to see, Jalen Hurts beating the odds, and I'm hoping he gets an opportunity to get his lick back for his Super Bowl loss. Honestly, I hope that Saquon runs it so much that the Chiefs have no choice but to put 8 in the box, and then we just see A.J. Brown go absolutely nuts on this team. The Eagles have the weapons. They have the weapons. The quarterback, as far as who's better, of course, I'm gonna say Pat. But as far as just being able to pull things, magic tricks, tush pushes, read off, everything you can imagine in a quarterback that could make the game crazy exciting and can keep a team in there. Jalen Hurts has it. And then you got to look at the wide receivers. I mean, you got a Heisman Trophy winner. You got Brown over there. These are guys who can cook. The tight end solid. I like the offense of the Eagles. I like the defense of the Eagles. At one point in time when they played us, they were the number one defense in the league. They shut us down. We were not spectacular that game. We were pissed I think it was going into the bye. We were pretty hot because we just didn't have it to take out Saquon. Saquon is a monster. I'm hoping they run all over them Chiefs. But Steve Spagnuolo, I got to give him his props. Spagnuolo is an amazing defensive coordinator. And I'm surprised. I just don't know why he doesn't have a head coaching job. It don't make sense to me. All right, we got some amens here. Yes, definitely going for the Eagles this year. I want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Absolutely, Gerald. Brooks says, no, their fans are really awful. I saw a video of a group of them bullying a Commanders fan peacefully leaving the game. Took his hate and everything. Oh, took his hat. I did see that. That's one group. We had Bills fans that were putting Lamar in all types of like craziness with the memes, and it was very racist. But Bills Nation as a whole, they're pretty good, pretty good fan base. Ravens have some really good fans running around, and then some absolute full on buttholes. I think each fan base has those one or two that kind of ruin it for everybody. But I see like a really high spirited team right now as far as the Eagles, and sure they got, like I said, they got, we all got different fans who do dumb stuff, and I honestly, they take it a little bit too far. It's like they repping their team like they gangsters or something. So like the Steelers, for instance, my uncle almost got beat up inside their stadium, and he was a police officer. So it's just kind of weird to interact with a few of those fans, but I don't want to say it ruins it for the whole. Because Chiefs fans, I mean, there's some super cocky, ignorant Chiefs fans, and obviously you can see, you'll see that at the games. There's some that are just over the top, but that's just going to happen with any fan base. All right, so Gerald says Eagles this year. Their players are cool though. I like Saquon and Jalen. I mean, and who can hate AJ Brown? This dude's reading motivational books on the sideline. Like, come on, in the rain. Brooke is telling me it's time. So she don't want to see me put the big clock out there. For those of y'all who don't know, I have an extremely big clock, and I like to go ahead and throw it out there. I said clock. That don't get confused with anything else. The D says, what would be more annoying, a Chiefs three-peat or a KC revenge tour next year? I don't think they're going to have the pieces to do a KC revenge tour next year. I think if they win the Super Bowl, this team falls apart because every agent comes banging the table saying, hey, my guy is the reason behind this three-peat, pay him now. And then that is going to cause a domino effect of players wanting to get paid, and that team is going to fall apart. Okay. All right. Brooke says that's just one video. There were more. Oh, yeah. You talking about the still under the hat. I feel you. Still the fans, they're definitely nuts. There are some good ones out there. One of my good friends, I'd say even close to best friend status. We've known each other for a while. This guy's pretty cool, but he's a Steelers fan. And that's the one who I have the long time standing bet with, which is kind of annoying. So, of course, if the Ravens beat the Steelers, he has to wear a Ravens jersey and take a photo in a Ravens jersey, and vice versa. So, all right, Nana says, every time a team comes after Spags, the Chiefs pay him more and more, so he's probably already like a head coach. He's just one of those really amazing defensive minds. And you also have to wonder, like, hey, what's that going to look like running an entire team? Sometimes it changes. Every time they hire a defense coordinator for a team, it's a 50-50. Because I thought for sure Robert Saleh was going to be one of the greatest head coaches to go down in NFL history. And then it turns out the way it turned out. And it's sad because I thought that guy was a great D coordinator. All right, Brooks saying deuces. I'm hoping that was douches. That's what we're going to say. Spags probably he's paid like a head coach. Yeah, I agree. He's probably paid up there. But we got Monken, and Orr is going to continue to improve. So I'm hoping it continues to go well for him. All right, so we went over a lot today. I think I hope y'all have a really good Super Bowl. Hope y'all ate some good Super Bowl food and just get to relax and enjoy yourselves. And, don't even think about the Ravens for that day. Just enjoy the day and root for the Eagles because Bird Gang, baby. Bird Gang for life. Thanks for coming through. If you like what you saw, if you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. We're probably going to be on Wednesday next week, 8:45, and hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this your couch rider Raven, saying 2 claps, fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Couch Rider. Ravens, we gon' ride out.
some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Writer Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.